right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Hopefully you enjoyed that 70s funk vibes. I was feeling it. I hope you were feeling it too. Today is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. This is episode 862 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I am your host over the next hour. 2 thumbs, all smiles, and exceedingly large-sized cup of coffee, hand for reference. Dr. Gerald Auger, and over that hour, me, you, Tech Grunt, N. Okundu over on LinkedIn, Senfilus, Kyle, Steve Young, Carlos Delgado, Charlie McBeams, among others. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders and ultimately be the most butt-kicking, well-rounded, high-five and InfoSec professional in the office? That's the goal here. And if you're looking to break in, don't think the show's not for you, because it is. We're very versatile. We're like a multi-pronged trident, right? We can serve many different ways. For those looking to break in, whether you're pivoting into cyber from an IT role or you're completely fresh coming in with no really bearings, I'm telling you right now, this is a great entry point for you. You're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? Again, let me repeat that. You will be asked in a job interview I say almost guaranteed question because I can't guarantee it, but like 99% of the time you will be asked, how do you stay current on the industry? It's that important that we ask it regularly. This right here is a great answer. Assuming you pay attention and engage, it will be a phenomenal answer. And by the way, if you get asked how do you stay current, you say Daily Cyber Threat Brief, you're probably going to have a follow-up question like, oh, what's a current story, or what's something that happened recently, or tell me more about this thing. That's how you can dominate. But really, the 4D chess move of realizing value from this is being able to take what we're talking about and, introduce it at work or in an interview, and just, basically use the knowledge to your advantage. Now, I want to let everybody know we're going to go through about 8 stories. CISO series overcompensated and put 9 stories, but we're only going to go through 8 because ain't nobody got time for that. Nice. Chris rocks how he stays current in his digestible format. I love it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I ain't got time for research and prep, y'all. I barely got time to make this big pot of coffee for my dome. So, you're going to get my authentic, raw takes on these things. As always, I encourage the community, the Alpha Sierra, the Dennis Keefs, the Space Tacos, the Augusto Delgados, the Dream Logics, the Mondo Avilas, all of you, to share your thoughts and opinions as always. It takes a village, people, and I'm super pumped to be part of this village. Now, before we get into it, let me give a shout out and love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this engaging show that's educational and entertaining, I hope, to you on the reg. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how this show can not only get you CPEs, but it is Wednesday, which means one thing and one thing only. We're going to go around the world like a bunch of bosses right before we get into the news. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. You're going to love it. I'll be chatting with you in comments. Let's get the ads. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon training powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right. Also want to say shout out to Flare Academy, guys. Many of you know Flare.io, but Flare Academy is coming hot. Ever wonder what separates the best cyber pros from everyone else? I'm Gerald Auger from Simply Cyber, and I'll let you in on a secret. It's not just what you know, but who you're learning from. There's a lot of people in this industry, and some have Dunning-Kruger type effects. So like getting it straight from the source is valuable. The Flare Academy gives you something very incredible, as well as basically education direct from industry practitioners. They get you direct access to the cybersecurity researchers through your exclusive Flare Academy Discord server. Imagine getting your questions answered in real time by industry experts during post-event Q&As. You can have a treasure trove of high-value training resources and access to experts right at your fingertips, no cost. This isn't just another course that you take and kind of see what you do, or if you're like some of us, including myself, you get a course and then shelf it. This is your backstage pass to cybersecurity excellence. Join the Flare Academy Discord community. Check it out, no cost to you. Like I said, I really do like the people at Flare. I like the product at Flare. I like Flare, okay? And this academy is just icing on the cake. I love it. Also want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber. Now, you guys all know Barricade Cyber. Eric Taylor did jaw jacking yesterday. He's going to be doing these webinars. But I want you to know about their Fortify 365. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, with business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your defensive shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, #GRC Mafia, and safeguard your sensitive data. They've helped countless orgs strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that addresses real-world vulnerabilities. Don't wait until after a breach to take action. Visit Fortify365.com today to learn how they can secure your Microsoft 365 environment against tomorrow's threats. Holla, holla, holla. All right, guys. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. What does that mean? It means you can say, "What's up?" in chat. It'll show up right above my head. Take a picture. In the screenshot, include the title of the YouTube video, like the part where it says the date down, it says like Cyber News Now, April 23rd. Include that, right? It's part of what these certification bodies want. They have a whole list of things they want. Time, date, CPE value. In the actual Chiron, at the very beginning, when it says the episode number right afterwards, I've added half a CPE. If you can squeeze that into the screenshot, ooh, chef's kiss. We are trying to make this as frictionless as possible that doesn't require you to register for this, okay? Okay. Hold on. What are we talking about here? DJ BSEC saying I need more flair. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but whatever. DJ BSEC in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We need answers. Hey, if today's your first time on the show, #first timer in chat. #first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect. I'll give you a hint. And we have a special emote for our first timers. So just drop a #first timer in chat. All right, we do have a special map. Our very own Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew. Oh, okay. Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew set this map up for us, and he's also offered the ability for me to type in a country name, so I don't look like a train wreck up here trying to find Tobago. Tobago? Is Tobago a country? Hold on. Oh my God. Trinidad and Tobago. I knew there was another part to it. Yes. All right, so guys, hey, let's do it. I want you to know that the Simply Cyber community is so amazing, so international, so diverse, right? The D in diversity, right? Let's go. I'm going to ask you where you are. Ko-Fi, hold on. Ko-Fi is going to be first out the gate. Do me a favor. When I say let's go, tell me where you're at. I'm going to set the timer to 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Get the DJ BSEC globe. Here we go. We are off and running. Tell me where you're at. Hold on. Oh, gosh. How do I see the country? Shouldn't I be able to put the country names on? Oh, there they are. Ghana. Hold on, where's Ghana? I don't know if I like this map. Like, the country names are in their native... hold on one second. Ghana. Yeah, Marcus Kyler, I love you, but I'm not sure if I can use this map. Hey, all right, we've got Texas. Brazil's in the house. What's up, Brazil? Keep it coming, y'all. Central PA, upstate. I see you, upstate. Code Brew. Flo Rida. Andres Molina, Colombia. Please be safe in Colombia. I saw the United States Department of State put them, elevated them on the travel list. We got Poland in the house. Poland. Oh, no, that's Czechia. Whoops. All right, somebody from Czechia, please. There's Poland. Let's go. Chris Rocks in Turkey. Holla. Gobble, gobble. We got Dirty Jers, Chi-Town. Senfless is in Poland. We got Pensacola, Florida. I've been there at Eglin Air Force Base. Denver's in the house. Perth, Western Australia. My man Cameron Pryor. Thank you, Cameron, for bringing that online. We got Ethiopia representing and South Africa. Oh, jeez. Africa said, hold my beer. Let's go. Bremer represent. I love it. Virginia Beach, Va Beach, Bangladesh in the hizzy. Not Nepal. Bangladesh in the hizzy. Dark Coaster. We got OK City, San Francisco, Sunshine. I'll be there. I'll be in San Francisco on Sunday this week. We got Australia representing. We got Ikram Khan from the UK coming in hot. Where's our Canada people? Mexico, yes sir. Buenos, wait, not Buenos Dias. What's good morning? Buenos Tardes? Columbia, South Carolina, Allison Lynch in the upstate. I see Mexico. Angola. Angola's one that I will have to cheat on. Angola. Let's go, Angola. Boom. Tanzania. All right. Hey, let's check it out. Tanzania is down here. Eastern Africa. Canada. Thank you, Niagara Falls, Rich 464. All right, guys, let's take a step back and take a look at what we got here. All right. Buenos dias. Thank you. Okay, so check it out. North America. Boom. South America. Brazil and Colombia. Andres Molina in the hizzy. Africa always coming correct with friggin' mad amounts of representation. We got Europe, Chris Rocks bringing the Middle East online. Australia, Cameron. Thank you so much, Cameron. And I know Triple D's here. The Philippines is representing. But Bangladesh, lone holdout, bringing Asia online, excuse me. There we go. Hot Lana's in the house. Kyle, why am I killing you, bro? We got Nigeria also in the house. Let's get Nigeria some love, people. There's Nigeria. There we go. All right, South Florida. All right, guys. Well, we did it. Congratulations. Australia is usually the long pole in the tent, but we were able to get it. Asia, I was kind of expecting a little bit more from you, but it is what it is. Jessica Probe, Cyber Kill Jane. Good to see you. All right, guys, do me a favor, everybody. Sit back, relax. It's time to get to work. And let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. All right, Vijaya Rao is bringing India online. Let's go ahead, India. Doink. Thank you. All right, let's go. We got work to do, everybody. Buckle up.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, April 23rd.
Oh, K. Scott Powell has an interview today. Good luck, K. Scott Powell. Love it, love it, love it. Hope all's well with the family as well. Sending K. Scott Powell good vibes. Derek.
We just become best friends.
Yup.
Derek with the super chat. Daily listener, loves SC and helping me stay positive in this GRC jump hunt. I'm thinking he means job hunt. Either way, Derek, thanks for the super chat. And, hold on. Ric Flair says, woo! Sending you good vibes, Derek. I hope the very best for you. All right, let's cook.
2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Microsoft recall on Copilot Plus PC, testing the security and privacy implications. Microsoft's recall feature was first announced back in 2023, automatically capturing screenshots of everything that you do on your PC and creating a searchable database of that activity. But it had security flaws. Data wasn't properly encrypted. Sensitive information like credit card numbers was stored, and it was enabled by default. People hate that. An updated version is rolling out now on Copilot Plus PCs with improvements like encryption, opt-in activation, and some filtering for sensitive data. All
right, so, I mean, nothing's changed, okay? This is still recall. This is still the thing that everybody was super pissed about. GRC Jumpstart, Derek, I see. When you said GRC Jump Hunt, maybe I'm confused. I don't know. It seemed like Job Hunt. But if you want, everybody knows, I have a GRC Jumpstart course in the Simply Cyber Academy. It's $0. Go take it if you're interested in learning. Literally, the title of the course, I had to make it GRC Jumpstart to make it professional. But what it really should be called is, what the heck is GRC, and is it a job I want? Okay. All right. So Microsoft Copilot, it takes pictures of your screenshot and then uses AI basically to make it searchable, right? So this multimodal capability of quickly searching images for information. Now, on the surface, yeah, sure, it's cool because you can find things easier. But obviously, a threat actor would love to get access to some of this stuff because it's almost like the Wayback Machine that archives websites, except it's your PC and your personal activity. Guys, in 2025, let's be real. People use their work computer for personal stuff all the time. It is a standard practice. So with this, you could get credit card information, passwords, one-time, backup codes, personal photos, like all this stuff. This is a goldmine for a threat actor or really espionage type people to commit. So obviously people aren't super jazzed about it. They said, here's two things to give consideration to. One is it's not enabled by default. What I would argue is I would imagine that there's a GPO or some configuration you can initialize that will make it enabled by default or enabled. So you potentially could have your work computer have this thing turned on and you not be able to disable it, right? Because it's a group policy. So you might not have a choice on it, right? So that's a concern. Second of all, and we haven't done this in a while, but if you're a squad member, meaning your name is colored, not gray, go ahead and use the speculative hot take, aka the cyber tinfoil hat guy. This is one of those ones where I swear to God, okay, this is a tinfoil hat moment. This all day long seems like tech overlords wanting, like, dude, so many big businesses are like, you will return to work office. You'll return to office. And like, there was this whole thing of like taking screenshots and like, if your mouse wasn't jiggled, like all this thing around monitoring workers while they're working remotely, right? We've all been living it the last couple years, right? This to me, 100% feels like the feature request came down from heavy hitters who have deep pockets that run businesses. And they're like, hey, listen, we want to seem less overbearing. So, hey, can you develop a technology that takes screenshots and then makes it wicked easy for us to search so we can identify the basically the people who aren't working or the people who are doing, like personal stuff that we don't want at work. Like this seems like a complete 1984, soft power type thing. wrapped as a feature, like, oh, you'll be able to go back and see what you did and search for it. Isn't that great? And you're like, I don't need to go back and search for it. I was there. I took the notes, right? This, to me, this just seems like super, super oversight, right? So we'll see. I think the issue is more around privacy. Also, shout out to Kevin Beaumont. This guy right here, I love this guy. I should try to get this guy on the show. Kevin Beaumont, he's a researcher out of England, UK's finest. I've never met him. I have to imagine he likes warm beer. I feel maybe that's just a complete myth about UK people. But his blog is Double Pulsar. It's medium.com/@networksecurity. I love this guy's work. Okay, this guy's been consistent for years. So go check him out. I just linked in chat. Okay, let's keep going.
Organizations targeted by backdoor masquerading as secure networking software updates. Recently, Kaspersky uncovered a sophisticated backdoor attack targeting Russian organizations across government, finance, and industrial sectors. The malware impersonated updates for secure networking software VIPNet. Attackers then used distributed LZH archive files containing a legitimate executable, a malicious loader, and an encrypted payload, which ultimately deploys a backdoor connected to a command and control server, allowing data theft and additional malware. Kaspersky emphasizes the need for layered security defenses to counter such threats.
All right. And hey, really quickly, I just want to point out, because I do want to have both sides of this argument. DJ Bisek does point out, and I do agree with this, okay? So I'm not like ridiculous, that work computers are for work. They are the property of the company, and employees should realize that and work like that. Anything you do on the machine, the company has the right to see. I do agree with that. I do get it. I do know that a lot of companies do have lax policies that allow you to do things like, pay your bills and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. All right. So sophisticated Russian malware. Let's go. I don't know what VIPNet networks are. It's a software suite for creating secure networks. Sounds like a VPN. I guess the VPN is actually kind of capitalized in the software name VIPNet. So it's distributed via LZH archive. So you're either getting a phishing email or tricked into downloading this thing. The archive includes an executable, a text file, a couple executables, and an encrypted file with a payload. Guys, what are we doing here? Like it kills me that you can convince someone to download an archive, decompress it, run a binary, and not at one point question what's going on. Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's a downloadable payload, right? No. The payload, the actual encrypted payload, is where the C2 server and all that other stuff is. Guys, I guess what I would say is, educate your end users, right? They say defense in depth here. Educate your end users. Don't download and decompress stupid stuff. All right. VIPNet's a telecom operator whose main activity is the provision of internet access and services through national broadband coverages. Also a software suite, according to the story. This is straight up defense in depth. Since this seems like a sophisticated Russian malware, I would assume that they're not using it like, Gwen Stefani and a Hollowback Girl. Like they're literally targeting who they're sending this to, I would imagine, right? Sean Sailors is saying if someone's impersonating him, his end users are going to do whatever he says. Sean Sailor, he's the captain now. But I get it. Kaspersky does provide some IOCs. If you're a practitioner or a student, you might want to throw these hashes into your SIM. Take a look, see if you can find them. Obviously, you should be... I don't know if this is a best practice. I guess I'd ask Wade Wells. or any blue team or SOC analyst, like monitoring, like for sure you want to monitor the temp directory. A lot of malware gets written to the temp directory. And then, basically the Windows binary directories. I'm not sure how often you want to check those, but this is where the files are being written. Definitely the temp directory. So behavioral based malware detection, hashes, which by the way, these are like ridiculously trivial to change. So I would imagine these hashes aren't going to provide much value. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it gets deployed by a victim like running it, right? Basically, a human has to fall and be involved in this execution. So this is why I love myself some GRC. Get in front of the problem, right?
SSL.com scrambles to patch certificate issuance vulnerability. A vulnerability in SSL.com's domain control validation process allowed nearly a dozen misissued digital certificates for 7 legitimate domains, including Alibaba Cloud's aliyun.com. A researcher exploited the flaw by creating a fake DNS record, tricking SSL.com into issuing certificates without proper domain ownership verification. SSL.com has since revoked the fraudulent certificates, disabled the flawed validation method, and continues investigations.
Jesus.
Russia.
Dude, this is nuts, dude. Okay, so the problem has been solved, but thank God a good guy, quote unquote, good guy, good person, good woman, a righteous security researcher found this bug and got it sorted out. This could have been really bad. So essentially, this website, SSL.com, and can issue certificates, right, for websites or domains is really what it is, domains. And they weren't validating the requester. So I could just be like, hi, I'd like a cert for Microsoft.com. And they're like, sure, here you go. I'm sure there was an expense associated with that.
Straight cash, homie.
I'm not saying that they were just straight capitalism like Lords of War, where they would just issue certs to whoever asked for them. But obviously, the process of validation was broken, and this person was able to get literally a legitimate certificate for Alibaba's official website. It's like the largest, it's like Google in China. So I'm glad they got this sorted out. Be careful. Obviously, certificates lend credibility, right? So the certificate isn't going to make the website more like hackable or anything like that. All it does is provide the encrypted TLS connection to the website. Typically the website. You can use certs for other things, but I'm sure in this instance it was websites. And when a user goes to it and they see the little lock, and they don't get like a pop-up saying this is not a pop-up, but like a lot of modern browsers will present you with like an interface saying, yo, you're about to go to an insecure website. You sure you want to make this choice? Right? Like, oh, hey, I saw that you had like hot wings last night right before you were about to get on an 8-hour flight today. Terrible choice. Are you sure you also want to make this terrible choice? Right? So the certificate, not only does it encrypt the connection, but it provides authority to the user that, yes, this is a legit site, because no one could have gotten issued this cert if they weren't the legit site, right? And that's the problem here. So potential exposure for someone getting phished or whatever, but SSL.com's fixed the issue. So this is just one of those interesting stories that's worth knowing. All right. DJ B-Sex providing a little bit more context, saying that SSL.com allowed you to provide a validation via email, but it had to be an email from the domain itself, where usually they have you create a text entry to prove it. So whatever, they weren't doing the validation somehow. I don't know if they were doing a spoofing the email address and someone was just manually validating, but you gotta be careful, guys. Just final thing on this one, and this is a bigger GRC Mafia story. Here's the GRC thing, y'all. when we think about controls and breakdown of controls or the introduction of controls to mitigate risk, controls can only do one of three things. Okay, you can control human risk, you can control technology risk, and one that people often forget about is process. You can control process, and you should think about risk in process, right? You can have the coolest EDR and the next gen firewall and all the buzzwords. You can have Carl locked down and not running PowerShell or whatever. But don't sleep on process. Process oftentimes is exploited in business email compromise, okay, which is like the second biggest threat that we should be thinking of. So don't sleep on process.
Attempting cyber sabotage attacks against Dutch critical infrastructure.
The Dutch.
Russian state-sponsored attackers have attempted cyber sabotage against Dutch critical infrastructure over the past 2 years. This is according to the Dutch Military Intelligence and Security Service, or MIVD. It represents the first known cyber sabotage attempts against control systems in the Netherlands. The MIVD warns that Russia is increasingly using a whole-of-society approach to cyber operations, which poses a threat to NATO allies. Dutch defense officials emphasize the need to strengthen military and cybersecurity capabilities.
All right, are the Dutch ones the ones with the flower fields? And I know that they're not called flower fields. There's a better term for it, but is that the Dutch people? Is Dutch Scandinavia? Dutch is Netherlands, right? I think Dutch is Netherlands. And there's I wish I could remember his name. I think it's Peter. James McQuiggan introduced me to a Netherlands guy. All right. Okay, so Russia's going after the Dutch. Okay, Dutch critical infrastructure is super legit. Oh yeah, they got windmills too. By the way, little quick tidbits Tuesday. You guys ever had those ginger cookies that look like windmills? They're actually like quite large. They're brown. They have red wrapping. I think only one company makes them. Those things are pretty good. I like myself some ginger cookies. Okay, dude, Russia's going whole hog on the Dutch, okay? Critical infrastructure is critical infrastructure. I don't care what country you are. Modern society requires critical infrastructure to operate. You need water. You need sewer. Right? Justin Gold is in the house. You need electricity. You need financial systems. You need IT, energy, right? Like all these things are required. Without it, you're in the Stone Ages, okay? So if you attack them, you can, first of all, you can terrorize. Second of all, you can hobble the capability of the country because basically they're focused on either protecting themselves or you're hampering their ability to do whatever mission they were doing. Russia's going after that. Now, Dutch is obviously, not Dutch, the Netherlands is either in NATO or NATO friendly. And, you know, basically all this is BRICS the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa faction is going hard against NATO and NATO allies, right? I mean, that's what's going on. Like, if you haven't been paying attention, this isn't a political show, but global tensions have been escalating. If you haven't been paying attention. So why would they do that? The story goes on to point out the strategic importance of the Netherlands. Trying to figure out, like, why. The Dutch governments continue to provide the support to Ukraine. There you go. That's the reason. They're helping them, and the Russians don't like it. Hey, Jenny Housley. So, like, less of a cyber story. Basically, all I can say is critical infrastructure is sometimes brittle, sometimes deprecated, sometimes legacy technology, and it can present a lot of attack surface for threat actors. You don't have to be a state-sponsored Russian, military cyber capability. You can be, a hacktivist or whatever and still, be effective. If you are interested in learning more about industrial control systems, critical infrastructure, I do want to just point out, many of you know this, but if you're a first timer or a regular here, you may not know this. We actually have multiple shows on the channel, and I'm trying to get shows that are not redundant and complementary to each other. We have a blue team show, we have a career show, and this is the one I want to point out. We have an industrial control system operational technology security show. These two guys, Don Weber and Ton Van Norman, are 20 plus years each, experts in securing operational technology and critical infrastructure. So just throwing it out there. If this gets you excited, you might want to find more out about this. This is par for the course, though. Like, United States critical infrastructure is being hit. And just so we're all on the same page, there's no question that, like, Russia's critical infrastructure is being hit. It's just not being reported, right? Other countries' critical infrastructure. It's part of the playbook. Confirming Netherlands is part of NATO. Thank you.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, DropZone AI. Is your security team spending too much time chasing alerts instead of stopping threats? DropZone AI modernizes your security operations by handling the routine investigations that consume your team's day. Organizations using DropZone's AI SOC analyst handle significantly more alerts without growing their team. You can see how at RSA at booth ESE60.
All right. Hey, Cameron from Western Australia said he came here because of Z over at Bremer. So thanks, Cameron, for checking out. I hope you're having a good show. Ladies and gentlemen, Cameron, first timer, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. Also, Chris Rock. Chris Rock wants us to have a 24/7 cyber channel. But hey, let's do this every mid-roll. Yes, sir. All right, guys. I hope you're having a great show. We are halfway through. It is the mid-roll. Love it, love it, love it. I'm having a great experience. I want to say shout out to the stream sponsors, Threat Locker, Flare Academy, Antisyphon, and Barricade Cyber. Genuinely appreciate them, and I appreciate all of you. Now, because we're a couple minutes behind, because we did Worldwide Wednesday to start the show, we aren't going to have the long period between now and the la. So I'm going to jump ahead. Alpha Sierra is in here. Poner Joe. Hey, reminder, we have a community Capture the Flag event tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Super easy. Don't feel imposter syndrome. Don't feel anxious. If you'd like to do a Capture the Flag, get with @Poner Joe. He's in chat right now. He's also on the Discord server. Take advantage of this 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. There's cash prizes. I'm giving out $100 to first place, 75 to or $100 to first, 50 to second, 25 to third, and you get the coveted black badge if you come in first place. Erica McDuffie from Two Cyber Chicks coming in from LinkedIn. Hey, Erica McDuffie. Kathy Chambers in the house coming in. I love myself some Kathy Chambers. All right, guys. Alpha Sierra, get ready. We're going to have to go ahead and jump ahead 2 minutes. Jump ahead to the la-la-la-las. Here we go, y'all. You know the words. Alpha Sierra leads us off, but you all know the words. Let's go. I'll get my little head bobbing going. I feel it, Kathy. Let it wash over you in an awesome wave, Kathy. And if it's been a minute since you caught the show, hopefully that brings back some good memories. All right, let's continue running through this and finish strong, y'all.
Large language models like OpenAI's GPT-4 and Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 3.7 are accelerating the time that it takes to create working exploits after a vulnerability disclosure. So, a researcher at ProDefense demonstrated that AI could analyze code patches, identify security flaws, and generate proof of concept attack scripts quickly, reducing a defender's response time. Experts warn that this rapid automation is also shrinking reaction windows for cybersecurity teams.
Okay, so this shouldn't come as any surprise, okay? This has been one of the standard practices for threat actors and Chris Rock. I'm being playful, Chris. I don't know if this is standard practice for you or not, but I just wanted to throw you into the mix there. So check it out. When a patch comes out, right? Think about it for a second. Hey, 0 day in new technology. Let's pick Fortinet. 0 day in Fortinet. Patch your stuff. Oh, you got to patch it.
You gotta patch
Okay, the patch comes down. You apply the patch. You are secure. Woo! Here's what you don't think about. You can take that patch, right, and look at it. You can take the patch system and the unpatched system, and I'm simplifying this, but do a diff. What's the difference between the unpatched one and the patched one? Well, they added this file or they changed these files. Okay, let's go look at those specific files. Now let's look at them side by side and see what they changed. Oh, they added some extra code into this function. Oh, that's interesting. So what's that function do? Oh, it takes some input and does something. It looks like it wasn't validating the input. Well, now alarm bells are going off. So there's an input validation vulnerability in the old version. Dude, when a patch comes out, it's not like this, it's not like the vendor comes out and says, yo, here's the exact problem. Here's where it was. You'll get some insights, but you're not going to get the playbook, right? A threat actor can take that difference and work backwards to figure out what the actual vulnerability was and how to exploit it. Then they can write code that does just that and then go attack systems that haven't been patched yet. And let's be real, vulnerability management's hard. Microsoft released the Eternal Blue patch, the SMB 0170, whatever. They released that patch in February, and in March, WannaCry happened. This is back in 2017. But my point is, even when the patches are out, organizations still may not have applied them yet. This is the standard practice. Well, guess what? If I can have AI do everything I just said, it can be done way faster, okay? Which means time from patch release to working exploit can be shortened. That's what AI is providing. Faster speeds of effort, right? You can do things faster. You need to make a PowerPoint deck, done. You need to write an email, done. You know what I mean? That's one of the benefits of AI is speed in your own workflows. So this should come as no surprise. What do you do with this information? Let's start dunking on vulnerability management and actually support it. Let's endorse it. Let's make things get patched. Let's actually hold people's feet to the fire if they don't patch their stuff. Let's block system resources or company resources until Carl patches his Windows machine, okay? And I know that that's not necessarily going to happen because the business is like, Carl's our best sales guy. He's got to be able to access the marketing collateral. We got to let him connect to the mothership. He's making the most money for our business. And I get that, okay? Money's going to trump security every time. But, dude, you're playing with fire. Just basically, vulnerability management needs to be escalated. And you could even drop this knowledge bomb in a job interview, okay? This isn't a specific story necessarily. This is a meta shift in our industry on how we have to think about from when a patch drops to when active POCs are out.
Two healthcare orgs hit by ransomware confirmed data breach.
Oh, also really quick, is Code Brew here? Code Brew? I almost texted you. Code Brew, really quickly, yesterday Code Brew gave 5 gifted subs at the mid-roll. I watched it back on replay because I was showing Mrs. Auger the Swedish fish situation. And I did not give a shout out or a call out to Code Brew. And I know you weren't doing it for a shout out, but shout out to Code Brew. Thanks yesterday. And to the 5 people who became squad members, you can thank Code Brew.
Impacting over 100,000. 2 U.S. healthcare organizations, Bell Ambulance in Wisconsin and Alabama Ophthalmology Associates, confirmed data breaches impacting over 100,000 people each after ransomware attacks. Bell Ambulance's breach is tied to the Medusa ransomware group, including names, social security numbers, and medical information for 114,000 individuals. Alabama Ophthalmology Associates is said to be targeted by the Beyond Leon group and saw similar data compromised for more than 131,000 people. Retail.
Dude, I mean, it is what it is. Healthcare, ransomware on healthcare is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
That's what's up. I mean, dude, these threat actors are legit. Medusa's been around for a while, okay? It's interesting because Medusa is... These threat actors have evolved where, like, they don't necessarily have, like, a niche, right? Because Medusa, if I'm 99% sure. Medusa's the one who hit the Minneapolis school system. Medusa, ransomware, Minneapolis. Yeah. Yeah, this is from 2023. So, like, this game, March of 23. So this is like a full, hold on one second. Or this was this 2025? This can't be right. Was this 2025? Huh. Oh, no. Yeah, Minneapolis School District 2023. I knew it was a couple years ago. There we go. These threat actors have been around for a couple years. They have process improvements. They treat it like a business, okay? They have process improvement. They do lessons learned. They work on their code. They have developers. They have QA people. Like, they are serious, and you have to respect them as a legit threat and do all. And again, school system, sure. Healthcare company, sure. Medusa, Beyond, they don't give a crap. You know what you have that they want?
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. And healthcare is tough because the victims are not really the businesses. They're the individuals who are seeking treatment or, healthcare services, right? So it really is impactful, especially if you bring down healthcare systems and if you have to cancel appointments. I mean, Jesus, like, look no further than the Change Healthcare attack. I think it was the beginning of last year, where surgeries were canceled. People couldn't get their pharmaceuticals. Cancer treatments were canceled. I mean, like, real devastating impact to individuals who had zero input into the overall cybersecurity budget or strategy at these organizations. So true victims. Guys, I'll say it until there's no more ransomware, which, I feel unfortunately cynical that I'll probably retire before ransomware. You need defense in depth. You need best practices. You need to make sure that you're doing cyber resiliency, not just cyber security, i.e. tabletop exercises, understanding where your critical apps are, making sure your ability to recover are in place, right? Immutable backups, making sure that at a minimum, even in the face of a ransomware attack, you're actively compromised, you're still able to deliver on whatever your service is for your customer base or, for shareholders or whatever, right? It's just like, just sticking your head in the sand and being like, oh, we'll be all right. It's just not good. Yep. Chris Rock says, health's the best. Instant neck pressure for closure. I don't necessarily know what that means. I think he means like putting a business in a chokehold where they'll want to tap out and pay.
Giant Marks & Spencer confirmed it's managing a cybersecurity incident following customer reports of outages and service disruptions. While physical stores, the website, and apps are operational, some in-store systems, including payment terminals and order pickups, are temporarily affected. The company has brought in external cybersecurity experts and notified authorities, but has not disclosed the nature of the attack or if its customer data was compromised.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution and say, yeah, that data was compromised, dude. Let's see. The website's up. Stores are open. Of course, it's. If I had to imagine, or if I had to guess, this is a internal infrastructure, like their business operations was impacted, probably through compromised credentials. Again, I'm guessing. In-store payment card terminals are not working. Okay, so POS systems. Hey, does anyone know? I'm actually kind of curious. Does PCI DSS extend outside the United States? I've never thought about that. I mean, payment card industry is international, so they don't care about borders. They care about protecting that. But I've only seen PCI in the United States. Here we go. Yeah, so retail giant, dude, whatever. It's a retail giant. They have stores and whatever, but at the end of the day, they're just a business. They have accounting people, HR people. They're just a business with business operations, and the business got hit. That's it. Oh, and Chris Rock's confirming PCI is in fact international. So, I'll just tell you really quickly. Usually PCI, just because of the nature of how not complicated it is. It's not that complicated, but typically you'll have the network segment that does that has payment card information. You'll have it completely separated. And the whole reason behind this is to scope it. So when you're doing your PCI stuff, you can point to that scoped network and say, oh, the PCI network's there. That's where the controls are that you need to test. Typically because you don't want to implement all the PCI controls across your entire network, because it would be too expensive. And ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for like thorough controls across their entire network. So you'll almost always see a PCI network segmented off. So the fact that their POS systems were not taking credit card transactions is kind of interesting, just because it means one of two things to me. Either one, this company wasn't doing network segmentation on their PCI network, which could be indicative of a bigger lax in security. Or two, the threat actors got in and went whole hog across everything and screwed all that stuff up. Long story short, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. They have a cyber attack, and the fact that they brought in external incident response just means that, yeah, it's an active incident that's got real problems. Okay. Yes. Justin Gold, PCI is due diligence and a PITA. All right.
Fog hackers troll victims with Doge ransom notes. Trend Micro reports that the Fog ransomware group has ramped up attacks, hitting over 100 victims since January. Attackers now reportedly use phishing emails containing a malicious file disguised as a payadjustment.zip archive to infect systems. Researchers warn Fog has adopted double extortion hacks and recommend strong backup, patching, segmentation, and phishing training to defend against future attacks.
Okay, she kind of buried the lead here. This is an interesting twist on ransomware. Now, first of all, when we look at like Medusa, oh, thank you, Erica McDuffie, our very own Two Cyber Chicks co-host, also Erica McDuffie, a huge GRC fan. Love myself some Erica McDuffie. She's such a great person. When we think of ransomware threat actors, like the big boys, like Beyond, 8base, Medusa, right? They're run like businesses, right? It's almost cold, right? We've taken over your systems. Here's the ransom. You have this amount of time. It's very, excuse me, it's very transactional and very cold. Then you get things like this where there's like trolling and there's a bit of just not emotion, but like this feels like less. Again, I'm old, so this feels like more Gen Z. Like, oh, like let's do some memes while we're in here screwing up your business. What makes this so interesting is two things. Number one, their lure is using payment adjustment as the file name, right? So anytime you're doing phishing, if you want to put in something about something very desirable money related or something very negative money related, you're typically going to get the interest of the recipient of that email. Hey, like, you know, here's your annual bonus notification, or hey, like your salary is being garnished. Here's the details, right? Like when you talk about people always get wicked dodgy when it comes to money. This is actually why I'm like ultra transparent and over communicative when it comes to money, because people get really dodgy about it. So this is an interesting technique. They're probably having a pretty good click-through rate on these ransom notes. Unfortunately, they're trolling individuals, it seems like, which is totally weird. Like if you're getting these notes, I guess maybe, yeah, I guess you'd be getting them on your work email so you can compromise the work system. That's fine. But the thing that I think is wild here that they didn't mention is that this particular threat actor group, whether they make good on this or not, offers a free decryption key if you infect someone else, right? So, like, literally, they're like,
hey, it looks like you don't have enough money to pay the ransom. We've got a proposition. How would you like to join us and get on the wagon, right?
it's like very communal. Like, oh, don't worry. If you don't have money, we got you covered. Just go infect your neighbor. No big deal. Okay? So that is an interesting strategy. I don't know how often that's getting done, right? But I almost feel like it's way, way more morbid. But I feel like in the movie, whichever Batman movie with Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, the one with the Joker, the really good one, at one point the Joker has like two bad guys, and he's like, I've got room for one more bad guy in my gang. And then like he gives them both weapons, and basically they have to fight it out. Like that kind of feels like that. Like you're given a really crappy choice. Either compromise your morals, or you're pay this fine, or you're screwed, right? Like it's really icky. I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like an emotional dagger in the side that just they're twisting it, right? That's why like this cold, you know, the Medusa Beyond, like the more professional ransomware threat actors, it's more, I don't know, less emotional.
UN researchers warn that Asian scam operations are spreading across the world. A UN report warns that organized crime groups based in Southeast Asia are expanding cyber scam operations globally, moving into Africa, Latin America, and other regions. These so-called scam centers make money from things like romance scams, fake investments, and illegal gambling. Increased crackdowns have pushed them into areas with weaker law enforcement, with criminals using newer tools like AI, deepfakes, and underground markets, evolving into crime-as-a-service networks. Yeah. Check out the latest episode.
All right, so, I mean, here's the deal, okay? I don't care if you're 45 or you're 15. This is going to happen no matter what, okay? So believe me when I tell you this. If a criminal finds something that is lucrative and makes money and it doesn't have a lot of risk associated with it, they're going to do it. And if you start putting pressure on them, they're going to do it somewhere else, but they're going to keep doing it, okay? So in Southeast Asia right now, and we know about this, all right? There are these call centers. You've gotten click fix pop-ups, right? Oh, hey, your computer's infected with whatever. Or you get emails. Hey, here's your renewal for your Best Buy Geek Squad thing, whatever. And you call the phone number, you get on a phone with a scammer, and they basically install some type of remote management tool on your computer, and they friggin' steal your money. There's entire YouTube channels that are huge, successful of scam baiting these scammers. That's like how widespread this industry is. Now, there has been multiple instances, I might get the countries wrong, but in Thailand or Myanmar, the government has actually shut the power off to these call centers, which obviously is a, layer 1 attack on addressing the risk and shuttering those businesses. But my point is, go ahead, shut our power off. F you, like, we have money for days from all these scams, and we have basically tons of workforce because it's slavery, right? I mean, they're putting these Cambodians and other, nationalities to work in these call centers. They're taking their passports and they're beating them if they don't get certain amount of money, or, if they don't hit their numbers for the day, right? That, dude, cut the power in Thailand. They're just going to move next. They're like termites, dude. If you treat your house, or what do they call those friggin' moles? Like a mole, the animal, the mole. If you protect your yard, it's not like the mole or the termites disappear. They don't just vanish. This isn't a magic trick. They go to your neighbor. That's what's going on here. You need to take this out in a systemic, coordinated law enforcement way of taking out the leaders of these scams and call centers and stuff, and making the punishment bad where you don't want to do it, right? That's the deal. That's the whole reason of justice and punishments and deterrence behavior theory, if you want to get into the nerd psychology stuff of it. Anyways, as always, let's just put aside the human rights violations of slavery, in modern day slavery and all these other things, just to protect your end users, and more importantly, to protect your Aunt Kathy and your Uncle Paul's and your, friends' parents, right? I guarantee you there's multiple people in chat right now who have been contacted because they're cybersecurity professionals by friends or family or loved ones who either directly suffered a cyber attack through one of these scams or was calling you on behalf of somebody trying to get some help. I've gotten the call several times, okay? It's prolific. It's ubiquitous. It's out there. It's happening all the time. GRC people, please educate your end users, educate your family. I know it could be boring and it's not great, it's not great talk on football Sundays, but dude, if they don't know, they're more likely to fall for it. Demystify the whole thing, take the power away from these call centers, and educate your family and loved ones that this is what's happening. If you get told to call a phone number, don't call it. It's a scam. If you get a text message that says you have outstanding tolls in a state you've never been to, guess what? It's a scam. Even if you get a text message that isn't a state you're from, it's a scam. If you get a text message that says you've made your AT&T phone bill payment 12 months in a row and you're going to be awarded an iPad, it's a scam. Assume everything's a scam until further notice, okay? Threat actors are gonna threat act, and it's our job to be vigilant, to, man the wall, basically. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, I also want to say shout out to Hot Soup. Hot Soup, first timer, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, check it out now. Kind of went off on a little tirade there at the end. All right, hey, don't go anywhere because I got you covered, my friend. I want you to know two things. One, the very talented Erica McDuffie, who's in chat right now, she's this woman on the left with the dark hair, wonderful professional. Jack Scott, her co-host, also wonderful professional. I love these people. If you've met either of them in person, you know how amazing they are. They are coming up in 26 minutes. And they're going to be doing their podcast, Bridging Security and Business, the BISO Perspective with Mino Verma. If you're a GRC professional or an aspiring GRC professional, this is definitely for you. I'm going to go ahead and pin it in chat. We're going to go ahead and do a raid to Cyber Chicks GRC Talks. Boom. I'm going to pin this in chat. Guys, until we get that, let's do some jaw jacking. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. This has been episode 862. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for making this show so fun, so entertaining, so educational, and such a value add to everybody that's part of the community. You guys are the bomb. All right, I'm Jerry. Until next time, stay secure, but really don't go anywhere because we're going to be jaw jacking in a hot second. Till next time. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name's Jerry Guy. This is my show. This is Jawjacking. What do we do here? It's a 30-minute AMA. I got 20 years of experience in the industry. I know a few things, and if I don't know them, I know people that do know them. So ask your questions, get your answers. It's all about good times. Some of you might be coming hot off the heels from the Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast, hosted by that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh my God. Dude, calm down about the Cambodian scam call centers. We know about it. John Oliver last week tonight covered it quite well in his pig butchering episode. Why don't you pump the brakes? For reals. All right, we do have some fun here. Jawjacking's basically the back of the mullet. The Daily Cyber Threat Brief is the front of the mullet. So business up front, party in the rear. And we're here to party. So let's cook. What do you got? For sure, Erica McDuffie's in chat. Christina Paulika, a.k.a. the librarian's up in this house. Zach Hill from IT Career Questions. Wow. What do we owe the honor, Mr. Hill? I love it. IT Career Questions. Let's look at this. Here we go. Oh, there he is. Look at this guy. Love this guy. Look at this right here. This is Zach Hill, IT Career Questions. You see him in chat. If you're interested in learning about IT, right? So maybe you want to work in cyber, but you need to bone up on your IT skills. This guy right here, legend. All right, great to have you here, Zach. Dennis Keeve has a question for us. Jerry, how do you not stress out over the red bubble notifications? I have one notification on my Venmo that won't clear, and I'm going crazy. This is true. You know what's interesting? It's very nuanced. I almost wonder if I'm neurotic or what, but my text message bubble, right? My text message bubble, that I can't have notifications on. But my email can have 180,000, and I'm cool with that. We can roll on 180,000 emails. What else we got here? Chris Frazier says, one skill that's never talked about is PowerPoint presentations for cybersecurity. This is true. I'm actually working on a PowerPoint for something right now. But guys, to a bigger picture of Chris Frazier's, communication is super important, especially in GRC, but really any communication, whether it's public speaking or not. Doing PowerPoints, which, by the way, PowerPoints, it could be any Google Slides, whatever, slide decks, super valuable. I would actually encourage you to work on that skill of delivering presentations. And I'll just give you like a couple quick tips, and then I'll give you like an actionable tip. So like if you have a PowerPoint slide that just has like a ton of text on it, that's bad. Most people do that because they don't feel comfortable or confident that they're going to remember what they want to talk about, so they stick it on the slide. If you are reading the slide to your audience, guess what? Your audience can read also, so they don't need you to read it to them. This isn't storybook time, right? So that's a horrible practice. Number two, you've got to think about the arc, the arc of your overall presentation and making sure that it's, hitting all the beats and notes that you want it to. Here's a piece of actionable information that you can take forward, okay? Next time you attend a talk or a presentation and you really enjoying it, you might have to go back and watch it, but go back or take a minute and get in the mindset, be present, and not think about what the person's saying, or, this is why you'd almost want to go back and do it. But actually look at their slides. Think about how they're speaking to their slides. Think about how they're transitioning between their slides. Look at those nuances and those small details, and then try to adopt them yourself, right? Like next level 4D chess pro moves is where you're like segueing into your next slide before it even comes up. Woo, that is spicy. All right, thanks Chris Frazier for the question. I agree. And dude, honestly, if you don't have great presentation skills, you can actually lose your audience's attention, which is bad because that's hard to get back. All right, continuing to look at chat. Rhonda Rummerfield one time told the speaker that she can read. Zach Morrison says he had a first-round interview for internship with City of Raleigh. Very nice. Also, really quick, Zach Morrison, there's a very healthy RDU, Simply Cyber community in that area. Jack Scott is the ambassador as far as I know. Luke Canfield is a heavy member in there as well. So go check that out. And Chris Whitlock is actually working on a map that you can use to check this out. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m., we have the public speaking skill set on Discord. So if you're looking to get better at public speaking, there's an initiative within the Simply Cyber community. Chris Hidalgo, Luke Canfield help run that, and it's super valuable. Again, we can lay out 500 troughs of water, and we can walk you right up to it. But you're the one who has to stick your head in the trough and drink the water, okay? There you go. Port Zero is helping people stay safe. I love it. Okay, FedEx is calling me a boomer because I say PowerPoint, not slide deck. Whatevs. All right, everybody's a little neurotic that works in here. Joe Nathan says, Jerry, I'm about to finish a year as a cyber analyst. Heck yeah, boy. GRC analyst position open up. Any tips to prepare for an internal interview? Oh my gosh, dude, for sure. I mean, for GRC, I mean, definitely take advantage of all the things that you've been doing as a security analyst. Think about the business, be able to talk about risks, right? Like like the things that you've been working with as an analyst, the problems you've been seeing, right? Think about what is the actual risk of those things. Because, dude, like getting your password compromised sucks, but with multi-factor, it's a little less sucky, right? Taking a little while to patch, right? Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it is a big deal. Internet-facing assets are more, attacked more often than internal assets, right? So think about risk. Risk is where you get straight cash, homie, okay?
Straight cash.
Like people, like the reason GRC is vitally important is because we're able to do risk and help the business understand where to focus money, effort, resources, because those are finite. Please crush it, Joe Nathan, and if you feel comfortable, come back and give us an update. I love it. Cam Godez says you almost wonder if you're neurotic. Hey, there we go. Jason Eyestone and I are going to high five over our unread emails. Thank you. Yep. Zach Hill saying, hey, Team SC. I love it. Zach Hill just dropped a new video yesterday. I love that. Let's see what he dropped. Oh, Zach Hill always has such good titles and thumbnails. This guy's like a YouTube phenom. All right, he actually released one called Entry Level Certs. Hot take. Entry level IT certs suck. There we go. Let's drop a link to this. If you want to get a little taste of some Zach Hill, check this out. This guy was doing YouTube helpful videos before YouTube helpful videos was cool. All right, we've got 2 cyber chicks coming up in 15 minutes, so don't sleep on that. Keep the questions coming. This is Jaw Jacking. I'm Jerry Guy, trying to help everybody level up their game and just straight up kick butt. Yasser says, hey Jerry, how important are Try Hack Me stats for getting interviews? It used to be, I feel like a couple years ago, being like top 1% of Try Hack Me certainly helped stand out. I don't know if Try Hack, I'll say this. I don't know if Try Hack Me Stats has the ability to get you interviews necessarily anymore, but I will say learning the skills that you pick up in Try Hack Me can help you crush an interview, right? So you might have to get an interview a different way, but once you get the interview, Yasser, if you're really, really consuming the knowledge that you're learning, you're getting practical skills, and that certainly can help. Cam Godot saying, play the saxophone for well-timed slide transitions. I like that. Hey, really quick, if I say it publicly, then it has to happen. Just get people ready. Friday, May 2nd, I'm going to be making efforts to do the quarterly Simply Cyber town hall or all hands or whatever you want to call it. If you guys are new here or you're just not aware of what I'm talking about, I believe in transparency, and I also believe in service to the community. So I do a quarterly meeting, and I tell you everything that's been going on. I tell you what you can expect. It's kind of like it's a status report basically, and I solicit feedback from you guys to make sure that we're doing things you like. We talk about the media group, the academy, the community. We've got the CTFs going. We got all sorts of stuff. I got major updates on Simply CyberCon. I'm actually going down to the Marriott tomorrow to finalize the paperwork. So stay tuned for that. There'll be more information coming out on all that. Haircut Fish, stay tuned because tomorrow this guy right here makes a custom meme. Hilarious memes. I love it. All right, continuing to look at chat. Let's see. We are old. My kids made fun of me calling it PowerPoint 2. Thank you, FedEx. Okay, so Silver Clouds wants access to the public speaking training and if there's any neurodiverse training base. So I will tell you, Silver Clouds, I have a video for the neurodiversity stuff. Hold on one second. I can't find it, but I actually have a video on, oh, here it is. So this video right here, I'll link to it. This is neurodivergence in cybersecurity hiring. I had a bunch of cybersecurity recruiters, so people who are actually helping people get jobs, come on and talk about neurodivergence specifically and how candidates can make it a strength on their candidacy versus hindrance. So I'm going to copy that to Silver Clouds, and then Silver Clouds, I just tagged you and put the link there. And then the public speaking training you have to do. And Luke Canfield, can you in chat, Luke Canfield, can you message Silver Clouds and explain how you have to go to the Discord server and all that? All right, Sensei, tell us about the CDF tomorrow. It will be my first time joining. Oh, yeah. All right, so guys, go to the Discord server tomorrow. And there's a CTF channel from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time live. It is a live event. There will be a capture the flag contest. Essentially, don't be intimidated. It's just like solving some puzzles, right? Think of like a Sudoku or a blacksmith puzzle or something like that. It's a cybersecurity themed puzzle. You typically find flags, which are special like codes, and that code is unique, which is how you prove that you solved the puzzle, and you get points. There are a lot of people, even though it's you solving the puzzle, you can be talking to other people, right? You can be hanging out. You can be having fun without getting the answers, right? So it's like a collective working on the same thing. Just show up, have your computer ready to go. You don't need any special tools or anything. It'll be very friendly. And there's directions. Poner Joe is the liaison for the CTF. So if you have any questions, PWNERJOE, Poner Joe, can help you on the Discord server tomorrow, 5 to 7 p.m. You're going to love it. A lot of people get intimidated A lot of people get intimidated by CTFs. Don't get intimidated, okay? All right. Zach Hill likes straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
All right. Ooh, here's a cool move. Cyber Shinigami says, take your PowerPoint. Yes, your PowerPoint. Your Google Slides, your slide deck, you Gen Zs, and throw it in Notebook LLM and have it make a podcast-style discussion, and you can use that to kind of help make your stuff a little bit smoother. Jerome Johnson saying, I'm an ISSO, and I just want to keep advancing and get familiar with the cloud as well as any suggestions. I don't understand the question, but I'm going to guess here that you're asking how to get more familiar with cloud. Honestly, Jerome, Microsoft Azure and AWS, but let's go with Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure actually has a ton of free training that you can get to, because obviously Microsoft wants you to be trained up on it. Training for Azure, Microsoft Learn. Come on. There you go. You literally can go ham all day in here. Look at all this. This is all free. Okay. So I'll drop a link to that. Oops. Also, I mean, if you can, I would get like a little instance. It wouldn't be free, but you can get like a little instance and actually go in and configure these things, right? Do you do any threat hunting, Soulshine? No, not a lot of threat hunting. I recently stood Security Onion up in my business network, and I've been doing a little bit of threat hunting. I'm still in the process of getting it up. Like, I was actually like frustratingly trying to get Sysmon to work. But yeah, so threat hunt. I do go threat hunting. I have gone threat hunting in the past. But right now, I'm not doing any threat hunting simply because I'm still trying to get my telemetry in place. You can't go threat hunting if you don't have good logs, basically, right? Yes, I have gone threat hunting. Threat hunting's easy. You just take like IOCs or information that you're looking for and plug it in the SIM and see if you get any hits, right? I mean, I'm simplifying that, but yes.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Space Tacos with a super chat. Let's investigate that. Hold on, where is it? Space Tacos with a super chat. Thanks, Space Tacos. My team got great news. Look like management's going to make our lives easier by allowing a lot more time to conduct all these complex audits. GRC Mafia, GRC Nerd, Team SC, winning so hard. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations, Space Tacos. Great to hear that management is supporting you. That's vitally important. When Zima thinks when I'm getting bougie, I shake my head a little bit. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, bougie. I know bougie is a thing. I'll be honest. I am bougie about some things. I'm pretty low maintenance, right? I was at the beach the other day and I drank a Busch Light Tall Boy. Okay, so just let's just put it there. But I won't compromise on coffee. I will not drink crap coffee. Okay. Let's see. Cool. Cam Godot says you can drop your PowerPoint. I might actually try this. I have a, if you guys didn't know, since Kathy Chambers and Zach Hill are here, I actually have a training or webinar, whatever you want to call this, on April 30th that you guys can go to. Antisyphon Training is hosting me. There you go. There's a link to that. Antisyphon Training is hosting me. And I'm going to be talking about auditing, right? Space Tacos, get your audit on. And I'm going to be talking about CIS Controls 18. So I might actually take my slide deck cam and drop that in there and just kind of see what it says. I also want to let everybody know, especially Zach Hill and Kathy Chambers, whether you know this or not, This is Wednesday morning next week. I will actually be taking a red eye from San Francisco Tuesday night and coming in ultra hot. So my flight lands at 9:30 a.m. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're going to have a guest host for the Daily Cyber Threat Brief next week on Wednesday. I'm going to be coming in hot. I'm going to come directly to my studio from the airport, slug the largest Starbucks coffee I can purchase, and then I'm going to do this. So you will be getting a rare version of me next Wednesday. I don't even know what that's going to look like, but just so you know, that's something you can expect. All right, let's keep the chat, the questions coming. Actually, let us know in chat. Are you bougie about anything? Are you bougie about anything? Are you bougie about your sandwiches? Are you bougie about your hotels? I'm curious. What are people bougie about? Might as well be drinking an OE, yeah. Did you guys ever play Edward 40 Hands in college? I may or may not have, but that's where you duct tape 40 ounces of OE to both hands and you can't remove it until you finish both of them, which, by the way, introduces a lot of challenges because, when you put 80 ounces of liquid in you, you typically want to expel the liquid, but you have, 40-ounce bottles duct taped to your hand. I've heard kids do that. In college. Did someone represent for Australia this evening? I am very late to the party. Richard Duff, yes. Richard Duff, we actually had an individual from Perth named Cameron Pryor who represented. We did go around the world. Thank you for being here, Richard Duff, as always. Ike says he needs help implementing correlation on Wazoo for Darktrace and M365. That's a pretty specific need. If anyone's, and I said Wazoo, I think he means Waza, W-A-Z-U-H. So, I don't know much about Darktrace. I know Darktrace was like the original AI, threat detection engine, but it's not super configurable. Kathy Chambers was here. Soulshine says, how are we doing on time here? We got a couple minutes. Soulshine says, when you've done consulting, what's your pitch? Do you bring up IOCs and WordPress vulnerabilities? No. So typically, you're talking to basically business leaders who are financially focused. They don't care about WordPress plugins and IOCs. It depends on a lot of things. But oftentimes I'll just say have you thought about securing your business? Do you a lot of times it's an MSP. I'll be like, hey.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Cyber Riskwitch says, love the show. I'm a hiring manager and ask interviewees how they stay current with the cyber news and always recommend your show. Appreciate the content. Well, hey, Cyber Riskwitch, thank you. I appreciate that. Very nice. Very kind of you. And I'm glad that, you said the kind words. Thank you. I basically say, hey, what are you doing to secure? Are you interested in securing your business, right? On it, this is like a marketing technique for selling services, but basically, psychologically, if you get them to say they want it, you don't have to convince them, right? Because they want it. And if they say they don't want it, then they're probably not going to want it anyways, right? So you don't have to spend time trying to convince them, right? So it'd be like, dude, are you interested in securing your business, or have you thought about securing your business, or what have you done to secure your business? Just you don't push them on it. A lot of times, they'll leave. MFA is a really strong point for me. So I might even say are you guys doing the basics? Are you doing MFA? A lot of people want to reduce risk and they just don't know how. So if you throw a couple controls at them that they are familiar with from personal use that they're not using at work, the light dawns on them. They're like, oh no, that's actually a good point, right? Then I also like to say, hey, I know you may not have heard of ransomware. It's surprising how many non-IT cyber people haven't heard of ransomware, but I'll be like, dude, there's this, major threat. You probably heard about it and not realized it, like the Change Healthcare one, where they basically lock you out of your systems. I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but if you didn't have access to your computers, right? If no one in your work had access to the computers for a week, how bad would that be? And a lot of times they're like, that would be devastating. Like, think of a doctor's office. They can't check you in. They can't check you in. They don't know who's coming next. They can't bill, right? That is majorly devastating for a business, right? So once you connect the dots for them on how devastating it would be, they'll want to talk to you, okay? I don't even bring up money until the very end, right? It's like, you want to be seen as an ally, as a partner, not as someone who's just like selling services. Phil Stafford, yeah, I'm going to be at RSA Monday and Tuesday. I've taken the red eye back Tuesday night. I like to go take care of what I got to take care of and come home. I don't like to be... I like being around my family as much as I possibly can. All right, hey, check it out. Terry Tyler's bougie about food. We got 2 cyber chicks coming in hot. Erica McDuffie and Jack Scott coming in hot. I hope you got value from the jaw jacking. If you had a question I didn't get to, please come back tomorrow and we'll do our best to answer it again. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Be well and let's go raid. I've pinned the comment. Let's go raid together. Until next time, stay secure. Thank you.